It's Billy. Right now. Yo, what if I got attacked by the clones? What if the builder think they found a better stone? What if the beat don't match with the metronome? What if that means you walk your path alone? Call me a vagabond. If all these streets leading to Rome, then wherever I lay is my home. It's Brooklyn, boy strong. I manifest, I'm in the zone. Y'all silly better back up off my throne. Listen, boy nice, better give him his propers. How we come out sane from all the mosh pits. How we found the key to the game without a locksmith. How we seem to manage these lanes is so obnoxious. He let it flow from the brain, trusting the process. A vet journeyman on multiple rosters. If I want it, I go out and get it and cop it. A monster with limitless options. Man, like goddamn, y'all gon' soon figure out who I am. We stay cooking, y'all used to that spam. Western beef, I might square up at the square dance. Look, I change plans, not even a southpaw, I'm an outlaw with a rare stance. Your crew never had a fair chance.
Why's that?
I kill a whole bear with my bare hands. Oh, they studied the dark? Well, I was raised in it. Brain shifted, the kid displayed insane physics. Best story never told, and it ain't finished. How we handled a rock, spun and kept the same pivot. I frame different, hot like a flame kitchen. A whole 2 levels out of your range gifted. Catch me on the highway, lane switching. Or right at the top of your bay wish list. It's Billy. Right now.
Oh, hey. Hi. Morning. No, afternoon. Morning for some of you, I guess. My California viewers. Speaking, that into the universe. One day, I'm sure a viewer, Aaron or Billy, will be in California, and that'll be really beautiful. I think I got a couple new subscribers. Thank you so much. Subscribing to Sheba Sunday. Thanks for spending your Sundays with me. Hey, how's your week been? Let me mute the desktop audio, and my sexy husband and, producer Billy will tell me if that makes the sound weird. Hey, though. Been having a good weekend? I have. Yeah, I had a kind of an interesting week. Billy had jury duty all week, so I was at home by myself, without my person, and it was different, So starting with high notes, it was actually like, love Billy doing a civic duty, helping, get some information about this, like, one of these weird systems that we all like live under. And it was like, I was grateful to be able to like see like, wow, people used to like, and some people still do this all the time. They spend like most of their day away working away from the person that they like, hopefully like the most, the person or people. That sucks. I don't know if I could do it. I'm kind of not necessarily grateful for the pandemic, but like grateful that there was an event that like made it so whatever was normal pre-pandemic is now like, I can't even think of, getting a job where I can't work from home, where I can't like, I don't know, be where my people are. Nah, it would have to pay a shit ton of money. And like, yeah, I would have to see just like, we got money, but like what I want is to hang out with B. Anyway, there was some Palo Santo. Yeah. So anyway, grateful to get to have that perspective, and also grateful for the alone time to get to like hang out and like reflect on things. Oh man, also so grateful for freaking the people in my life, and particularly my friend Stacy, who was on last week, my first guest on Sheba Sunday. It was so fun. She's so good, right? she's like a very talented storyteller, and you know, you didn't get here from me, but I think you're gonna hear a lot of more cool stories and stuff coming from Stacy, because like she's so good, and it was really fun, and I you know, it was really nice to reflect on kind of a really difficult period in my life, you know, when I was going through a divorce, my first marriage and the divorce, and um, interesting to reflect on it with a different lens now that I'm in a different place. Um, I realized, like, so after that, there's this video on my Instagram. Um, should I pull it up? No, I don't. I'll do it later, maybe in later episodes. But so you know, it is this video I posted that was like from 2015, and I was just it was a really low point. I was really sad and frustrated. Me and my ex were having a fight, and like I was just like sobbing, just like broke down, like screaming, like, "Why do you stay?" Anyway, I look over and this motherfucker is filming me. Throw it out the window. Anyway, I separated from him, and it turned into only a 3 month separation, because this man kept calling me and being like, "Oh, you're like giving up on us, you know, like I said I was sorry, you know, like, oh," and calling me all hours of the day, and it's like, "I'm losing my best friend," and it was just like, oh my God. So I felt very like, you know, I don't want to be a quitter. Like, he seems very, you know, like he really wants this. And so I was like, fine. Make it a trial separation. I'll come back in 3 months and we can live together. But, you know, I was like, you're going to have to split the rent with me. I don't want it to all be on me again. And that was what I was telling him, and telling myself that I would need to, like, you know, give this one more chance. And it actually turned out that, like, so the 3 months came, he got what he wanted. I rented an apartment. He didn't have the, you know, ability to help me with it. So I like compromised on that thing. He did not like get substantially better. He actually got like actively worse. But it was very great that I got the opportunity to be like, okay, I've tried everything, you know. And when you know, I got an apartment for us for, you know, the final, let's try it one more time. The person who rented that apartment to me was none other than Stacey Chambers. So that's how we met. And maybe, you know, I was like, oh, why did I go back? Come on. That should have been the final straw, that video. I should have just left when I separated the first time. But maybe it's because I was supposed to meet Stacey and like get to know her, get to know myself more, get to know, you know, like, I hate to make a rash decision. So I like being able to sit with it and like see what's right. And I'm so glad that I figured it out, y'all. Oh, I'm so grateful for my life now. It's just so good. I just have such clarity. Oh my gosh. Tomorrow is my brother's birthday. My sweet, amazing brother, who, when I was like when I was in my first marriage, it was great to be able to see like, wow, okay, my brother has a very calming energy. He's a very measured person, you know, and he's very kind and compassionate. And so it was like, you know, my ex was very not that. So I was really glad that I had like an example of like, okay, so I don't have to just take how my ex is not just how all dudes are. And so I was really happy to have someone like my brother who, you know, he was like, back then, trying to make the best of it with me. He was like, so what is, you know, your ex doing for work these days? And I was like, oh, he's this time he was gonna be a professional poker player. And my brother is so sweet. He was like, oh no, no. Anyway, and I was like, I know. So it was really cool to have someone like that. It's his birthday tomorrow. He's turning 31. He's going to Disneyland, I think, at the end of or just Disney World at the end of the week. And I hope he just has so much fun. He's just such a special, awesome person. He's very much like Tony Stark. He's like very smart and sciencey and good at building stuff and electronics, and like, you know, if he were ever in a desert and had to assemble a suit out of scrap metal, he would, and he would like shoot himself out, and he's just awesome. So I'm so lucky to have someone like that share 100% of my DNA. This is my freaking brother. Like, wow. So amazing. Oh, 111. Okay, so I'm loved, I'm safe, I'm powerful, I'm free. My timing is perfect. All the good things in my life are infinite. Everything I need is already within me. I am luck. Everything always works out for me. And a new one I'm adding, money chases me. Because I think it does. Yeah. So this week, I kind of want to do a thing where like I kind of connect the dots of these episodes. So the last two are about divorce. This one is about sex. 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 Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. I know Billy would say, we can get that on a soundboard for you. We can make that a thing. And I would say, I know, babe, but like, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to do all the buttons. And so anyway, that's the intro to this one. We're going to talk about sex because like everyone's weird about it, but also everyone loves it. You know, sex sells. When is I don't know. When I came on the scene, sex sells was a thing. So, I don't know. Older people maybe do some internal work and figure out why, you know, that is. Or maybe not even figure out why, just like accept that sex is like a powerful motivator in lots of ways and blah, 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 blah. Hey, and we like it. And if I'm speaking for myself, I'm like very good at it in certain ways. Like all of my sex partners are just very like satisfied with the experience. They get a lot from it. I give a lot. I'm very, you know, I'm a very vulnerable, passionate, you know, attuned, empathetic person. And like in the sack, I'm very enthusiastic. I'm incredibly flexible. You know, I like trying new things. I like discovering like what makes these like babies tick and like what makes each individual person like, you know, have joy and pleasure and how I can access that for myself. I think that's like really cool. It's like another form of communication and play and expression. And it's just a very interesting thing to me. Yeah, what about you? It's okay if you don't want to like talk about it, but I certainly am. So feel free to listen. Got Dolly back. She's just been, you know, this year we're going to do a lot of decorating. And so this year, so far the only kind of thing we have is this like one picture of Dolly. So we like move it throughout our different shows and talk flows. Oh, by the way, came up with the term, rather than a talk show, it's a talk flow. Woo. Just like after how me and Stacey were, it was just like flowing, and it was like, you know, rather than like kind of showing, you know, performing communication and sharing or whatever, just want to like let it be what it is, flow with it, go with the flow, if you will, be like water and just go with the flow. Be like water, just like life-saving and healing and delicious. Also just like sex, man. So I was thinking this because I'm gonna go to watch video now. No, yes. And something that I saw that I posted to my story. If you're not following me on Instagram, you should, at Sheba Beba, Sheba Beba. Really clever. I can't believe no one else took that. Like, come on, other Shebs in the world. It's okay. I'm the best one. I get it. Okay, anyway. So watch video. So I saw this. I promise y'all, healthy relationships with great sex exists. The only reason sex is amazing in toxic relationships is because in every other aspect of your relationship, you're deprived of intimacy. A turkey sandwich tastes like a 5-star meal when you're starving. And the it's responding to, I want to say, what is this? Like Baby Boy or maybe Fast and Furious, but it's probably Baby Boy. Um, and yeah, it's like, I hate you, I hate you. And then they start fucking. They're like, I love you. Which is like one of my least favorite tropes. When I first, was watching movies and saw that the enemies to lovers trope, I was like, huh, that like intrigues me. And when I started having sex, like certainly when I didn't like someone, I was never like, let me have sex with them. That's just not, it didn't make sense to me. And like I was maybe kind of lucky that like my exes, you know, were not like I'm great at sex. Like everyone has a great time, but I wouldn't necessarily say that like the people I had chosen prior to turning 30 were like people that were very good at giving sex to me. Though I would never let them know that. I know that people are very self-conscious about, their ability to please others, but not so many people are willing to do the work to like make sure they are pleasing others. So I was very happy to be like, oh yeah, oh my God, you're so good. Like, yeah, totally. But I kind of worried that that was not going to be a sustainable thing. And I saw that actually in my divorce relationship in my first marriage, I was like, kind of taking care of this dude. Even though he was perfectly able-bodied, I was just like, had to keep everything together. And so I was certainly not sexually attracted to this person who I felt like was my child, my teenager, who I could not wait to get up out of my goddamn house. He was eating up on my food. He was not working, just lying around, sleeping all day, criticizing me about how I do it. Like, girl, you paying any bills? No? Okay. I get it. It made me empathize with my mother a lot more. I'll be honest. I was like, oh no. But it certainly did not make me sexually attracted to this person. Ugh. And my ex was very, in the first trial separation, he was very like, I was like, okay, ground rules, like we have to go to therapy and we have to like focus on like our communication and our shit and stuff. And I was like, let's not have sex because that will, that's not something we are struggling with. He certainly was not, feeling a lack of sex. And he kind of used that as a way to like, oh my gosh, like you're unfairly withholding affection. You're not really trying. Ugh. I was just like, dude, listen, I'm actually not attracted to you. And I'm being nice by, trying to like be like, let's not focus on sex. I don't want to focus on sex also because I don't want to have sex with you, but like that's not where our struggles are, So, after my dad died and all this, and he didn't come to my dad's funeral. It was very awesome that like I already didn't want to have sex with him. I was feeling like I was like, oh, I'm like this beautiful, sexy 28-year-old who like I feel like I'm like shriveling and I'm just so I really never felt the like, everything is, terrible in this relationship, but the sex is amazing. That was like not my experience with it. I always felt like sex was like a laborious thing that I could do to like, oh, right. Let me full screen it. Thank you, baby. Main screen, Sheba only. Hey. Yeah, I was like, I can perform this, but this is not going to be sustainable. And so when, all this stuff happened that led to me filing for divorce, it was easy to be like, nah, the sex is certainly not worth staying for. So let me figure something else out. And so after I filed for divorce, oh my God, I was like, I am going to be in what I have heard referred to by many as a slut era, which I think is kind of just like, maybe that's like who I am. I like exploration and, sex and like performance and communication, and it's all in there. And so I was very excited to like rejoin that because of course, along with everything else, but my ex, he was also very like controlling and like probably recognized that I was this like fucking hottie and that he was not doing anything to keep me. And so he had to like kind of make sure that I would not catch the eye of anyone else, or no one else could catch my eye, because the bar was so low. I would be like, oh my God, you have a car, huh? Wow. Any car? Oh, okay. Cool. Do you like rent an apartment? Wow. You pay rent. Oh my God. Hello. So I get what he was thinking, but you know, I'm not really gonna cheat like that. Though I did technically commit adultery, because before our divorce was finalized, I did get to, you know, banging out. I was like, this relationship is over, so, you know, this is the only acceptable adultery cheating in my idea. Obviously, the one that I committed, that's the only one that I'm cool with, so that kind of makes sense. Yeah, and so after that, I had gone on like a cruise with my mom, and this like little young 20-year-old was like obsessed with me, and I was like, yes, love it, still got it. I got on this a website that's kind of like, I don't know if I should say it like the actual one, but it's like Facebook, but like for sex kind of thing. So it's like you have a screen name, and you know, you can post sexy pictures about you, and like you know, the things that like you're into sexually, the things you're interested in trying or receiving, or the things you're not into. And yeah, I was like really glad to see that there's like, you know, everyone is kind of, I think, grappling with like, what are these vessels? Who are we? What can I do with it? And yeah, so I checked that out real quick, and you know, it was awesome. It felt really good to like be affirmed, and like to people be like, you're so beautiful, you're a goddess, you're so sexy. And I was like, I knew it. Yes, you're right. It's probably like, you know, the beginnings of, you know, Sheba Sunday. Or like a part on the way to get here. I was just like, I love being admired. I'm like, I love fascinating people. Yeah. Oh, I was also seeing a thing about like Trevor Noah's dad. How he was like, he was saying, Trevor Noah was saying like, men, you know, they don't want a submissive woman. They'll marry one because they're like very useful, but like the one they want is like the sexy, you know, free spirited one. And but they want it because it's like because they want to trap it. It's like you know, collecting an exotic bird and like putting it in a cage and like clipping its wings. Using it just as like another little useful trophy to increase this dude's status and things. And like, girl, I get that. Being an exotic bird who dudes keep trying to trap with their silly little, you know, trinkets and beautiful stories and beautiful songs and things. I see my worth now. But like for reals. Yeah, totally. Anywho, yeah, so this website I was on was very like, I really enjoyed it. And I met some like really cool people. And actually, so I was like, you know, ready to go. I actually, the first person that I had like, you know, met, I thought was hot. I like messaged them. I was like, hello, how are you? They were not super far from me, and I like, he's younger than me, but real big D. And just, it was really cool, and had like a, you know, his screen name was kind of another like a king kind of thing, an African royalty thing. I also have an African royalty thing, you know, my parents named me Sheba. I mean, it's like, it's right there. So yeah, so this guy, you know, I meet up with him. It's like, he's like in awe of me. He's like, oh my God, your husband is an idiot. Just like thinks I'm so sexy. And like, I was super horny. So it was really, really fun. And I met another guy on it. And that guy was also really cool. We're still friends to this day. And he was kind of like a germaphobe. But like, it was still a really like hot, like getting to know these interesting, different people. And so it was actually like after I met the second guy and we had hung out twice. The first guy had messaged me and he was like, hey, I want to be open with you. I actually just tested positive for chlamydia, and so you should get yourself checked. I was like, God damn it. I thought this was going a little too swimmingly. Dang. What's a slut to do? You know, it's a hazard of the trade. It just, you want to trust and love, and it was great. Actually, like, this is a really nice person, and I really appreciated them letting me know. It sucked though, because I was actually about to go on a cruise for 2 weeks, and so I was like, oh shit, I gotta tell this other guy too, who's a germaphobe. And so I was like, hey, really hate to share this with you, but this guy I hooked up with had tested positive for chlamydia, and I just took a test, but like I won't get the test results back for a couple of days, at which time I will be on a cruise. So like, yeah, that sucked. And the guy was like, damn it. But he actually was friends with like some sort of a medical professional, and who works in like a clinic, and so has the whatever you're supposed to, the post exposure shot that you're supposed to get to clear up chlamydia. They like had it. So I like, met this guy. I like drove to their friend's house, and you have to get the shot in the butt. And so I'm like leaning over this very nice white woman's, kitchen counter as she, puts a shot in my butt. I'm like, all right, Sheebs, you might have to slow down a little bit. You might want to get a little more, be a little safer, your precious cargo. You love yourself, and you want to treat yourself like you're something you value, and don't want, riddled with disease and unnecessary harm, and like you want to keep this vessel going. It takes very little maintenance, so be a little more careful. And so it was nice. I was really glad that I had that like kind of experience, like kind of a little slap on the butt, literally, kind of, to remind me to like, okay, you can have fun, you can be slutty, but you do want to, make sure you're, I don't know, like doing it for you, and being safe, treat yourself like you're someone you love. What would you tell someone you love? You would be like, wear a condom, ask for STD tests, get STD tested yourself. And so, yeah, so that was kind of nice. I got the opportunity to be like, all right, cool. I got that like first fun little energy out. Now I'm going to do this with an increasing intentionality about this. And yeah, it was really fun. I met more people who were like, who are now still my very good friends. And I got to have a lot of fun experiences. I was interested in like poly and non-monogamy. Not only because I was like, I don't want to have to like narrow down like one person again. I already, just got out of a long ass difficult relationship after I, tried to be like, yep, this is the one. I'm going to go with this one and make this work. I was like, I don't want to like narrow my options just yet. I'm casting a wide net. And so I was like, let me date some couples, because I want to date women. I hadn't like dated women before. And I was like, well, if there's ever a time, it's now. And so I was like, let me date like a man and a woman who are already together, so I don't have to like, go on all these different dates. I can just like have 2 in 1. It's called efficiency. Smart, being a smart slut. Being a smart slut in so many ways. And it was really fun. I actually, one of my friends referred a couple that they had a really fun experience with, and so I met up with them. They were really nice. It was really cool. But I saw them, they really liked me, and I think wanted me to maybe be their girlfriend, and I was like just like very averse to like settling down, especially because like they were cool, but like I kind of felt like I was bringing a lot of the chemistry and sexiness and awesomeness. Again, if you're just tuning in, I'm like very good at sex, and like I bring a lot to that equation, and like I haven't always expected a lot back from my partners. So with this couple, they were really cool. I was having like a fun little time for what it was, but I felt like it was like not going to be sustainable, and it was not. But we're still friends on Facebook and things, and I'm sure we'll run into each other again. And I'm very happy for them. They're like doing great. So I'd also met this other person who was really great, and we kind of went to a lot of freaky things together. I went to, I don't know what the disclosure on stuff like taboo things should be. So I went to a sex club with him in the Maryland area. It's a very great club. I hear from people who go to like a lot of different clubs. And, I know it's kind of taboo to talk about, so I won't say anything else about it, but it was really fun, and I'd never been to one. I was like, what is a sex club like? I've really only seen it on, like, Law & Order, when they, like, bust a sex club or a sex party, and they turn on all the lights, and they're like, all right, deviants, we're looking for this guy. And if you don't tell me what I need to know, we're doing a perp walk out the front, and you're going to be on the front page of the paper. I was like, oh my God, what? They just, I didn't realize then, but propaganda, man. And other types of propaganda teaching you that like, sex positivity, or people who are like proudly non-monogamous or polyamorous or just sex positive, like they're the deviants that you shouldn't interact with, and that like it's not against the law, but like you should feel bad and shamed about it. And I was like, ooh. So it was interesting to go to a sex club and to be like, oh my God, everyone is so respectful in a way that they're kind of not often like in the real world, the vanilla world, they have like an increased intentionality about, what do you call it? Consent, like enthusiasm, like looking but not touching, looking but not in a lecherous, like annoying way, and if like it really encourages people to like speak up and to like recognize the different forms of communication. Like if someone isn't speaking up but they are like non-verbally indicating to you they're not into this, you gotta listen. It really encourages you to like get to know what's going on. And yeah, so it was really a fun experience. It was like a little expensive for my taste, but I'm, a very frugal person. And, you can't, it's like you can bring your own liquor, and then you like, they have a bar and the bartender like makes you your drink. But if you don't pick up your liquor, like at the end of the night, right before it closes, they throw it away. So I was annoyed this one time that I went, and like, I paid a lot of money to get in, because it's like a kind of like a membership thing that like is based on, you can go whenever you want in a year, but like, I'm not going to get my act together to go that often, unfortunately. And I think they know that. It's a very clever pricing structure, but, paid a lot to get in. They also have a thing, like the dudes have to wear like a jacket, which feels classist, a little racist. I didn't realize that was a rule, and we just happened to have a jacket in our car, so it worked out. But it was just a couple of things that I'm like, this is not, I wish this was more tailored directly to me, and I'm annoyed that you seem to have a broader audience in mind. Rude. But no, it was really cool. Everyone was really nice, and like, if you look like me, or if you're like, I think like, anyway, if you're like in your like 30s and 40s, if you're sexy, like people are like very interested in you and really, want to, if they can't participate, they at least want to like see you do what you do. So there's like a fun like a dungeon. It's just like a downstairs where like the different, like, you can have sex rooms. And one of like a couple of them, they have like a window in them, and you can like watch people have sex. So like I like that. I like coming with like the person I've come with, and having sex and like letting people like watch us and admire us. I feel like a sexy porn star, and it's like so awesome. Yeah, that's a fun thing. So if you haven't been to a sex party, I think it should be on your bucket list. I think it is an interesting experience, and you can learn a lot, and you don't have to participate, directly. You can just watch, and you can just like participate with your partner. You can like do any kind of arrangement that you want, and that's really fun. It's really interesting to like get to know people that way and stuff. And so yeah, I did that, and I kind of had a little like a tribe of freaky, sexy Black people who I would go to different things with, and just like hang out with sexually, but also just platonically and things. I'm like, having sex with me is like a very amazing opportunity experience, but I'm also just like a very great friend, a very great family member. I'm fun to hang around. So like, even if we're not doing sexy things, even if you're friend zoned, like that's a very great zone to be. Like, my friends have a really great fucking time. I'm a really good friend. I'm a really good person to have in one's corner. So it was nice to like get to know some people who allowed that of me. I got to like get to know them outside of just this like sex space. I got to know them as a whole person, and like I got to love them like more. I was like, oh, that's awesome. You're this cool person on the outside world, and you like are freaky and open and interested in the things we're told we're supposed to be ashamed of, and we're not supposed to even look at, or else we're bad. And I appreciate like bold people who are curious about doing things differently, daring to do things differently than their parents did, which is really awesome. So way to go. Way to go, everyone that I've met. And I feel like I increasingly, the people who are drawn to me and whom I am drawn to, and increasingly are just like some quality fucking people. I mean, Stacy, Billy, and I mean, my family is just amazing. Just like all my friends. Oh, Elisa, Sakura, Jessa. I feel very lucky. Oh, Brittany's really cool. Just like, I've been loving it. Anyway, what am I talking about my cool friends for? Oh, friend zone is a cool place to be. Okay, right. So, yeah, I was having fun experiences with this like group of people. I think I turned 30, and I was like, okay, 30 years old, I'm not going to fake another orgasm. That's what I like to like challenge myself to, things. I like to go with the flow, but I don't like to like mindlessly like have no intentionality within that flow. I don't know. I keep saying that fucking word today. But yeah, I started to realize that like I am very open to doing things and trying things. And if someone else is like, hey, let's try this thing, let's do this thing, I'm like, okay, will we die? No? All right, let's try it. Let's see what's gonna happen. Stories find the storyteller. And so I think I'm a storyteller. So anyway, but I started to see like, certainly when I started having sex with women who were very like, what do you want? They were interested in what I wanted. And it made me really uncomfortable. I kind of enjoy being a sub. Like, if there was a dynamic within it, I liked being the more submissive person, because like, I'm always making decisions. And so it was kind of nice to be like, to have someone who kind of knows what I like, to be like, all right, do this thing. And I can just like follow directions, like, hell yes. But I realized I actually didn't really know what I liked. So the person with me couldn't really know what I liked. And I didn't love that. I wanted to be more able to, when someone's like, Sheba, what do you like? What pleases you? I wanted to be like, this thing. But I was you know, the things that I watched on porn and stuff, I was embarrassed to kind of vocalize. Like, even though I was on this sexy website, you know, it was easy for me to kind of post the things like that I'm interested in that I already saw other people were interested in. So it was like, oh, great. Okay, I'm not crazy. Okay, so I'm in this thing that a lot of other people seem to be into, this too, you know? And so it was still kind of like not following the crowd, but not fully owning like my pleasure, my desires, the things I want, the life I want, the life, like the things I want to try and stuff. And so, yeah, I was like, Sheebs, I think you need a sex therapist. And I got one. So I had actually like gotten a foot surgery, so I was home for a little bit, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna need someone who I can do teletherapy with, and I found a sex therapist, a dark-skinned black woman who I looked, I wanted to see like her credentials. I like to see people who are about like decolonizing therapy, who keep doing like, who are comfortable working with, you know, LGBTQ and like different relationship structures and stuff. Because I was like, you know, not, I guess, to knock it, but like when people are like faith-based therapies, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna burst into flame if I cross the threshold of a church. Like this, like you won't be able to hold the phone because it's just like talking to Satan. Yeah, look at this like red hair. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But yeah, so anyway, I found this therapist who was really awesome. I liked her vibe. You know, like now that I look back, like the style was a little bit, I might have wanted it to be a little bit more like, well, actually, you know what's so funny? When I met that therapist, she had kind of was just kind of getting started in therapy and what her brand was and things. And like, it was really interesting to see us both kind of evolve over the years that, you know, we worked together. Anyway, so I started with this sex therapist, and I was expecting it to be more like, you know, okay, you have to get a vibrator and do this exercise however many times a week and take a journal of your, you know, findings. And it was actually, I was surprised that it was so much like childhood stuff. Like she had me talking about like my first experiences with love and, you know, romance, like what I saw of my parents, like what stories they told me about it, their own relationship, media, you know, just what I, you know. And anyway, turned out she was pulling out all this stuff about shame and like all of these things I didn't realize were shame based, you know. And the reason like I struggled to say no, even though I would like for things that I was like, I don't really like this, but like I struggled to convey to someone that like I don't like this. I had this fear that if I wasn't open to doing things or willing to do things, people would not want to spend time with me, or they would not think I was awesome. They would not think that I was truly this open, sex positive, expansive person. But mostly it was a very external kind of, I was worried that other people would reject me, you know, if I didn't kind of go along with what they were into, and not in like a sinister way. Like the people were not doing anything bad other than just being like, is this okay? Can I do this? And I'm like, sure, you know. But I really wanted to get better at being like, actually, I'm not into that, but I am into this. Can we do this? And so I learned through going to therapy that I had a lot of shame and fear around being rejected and being like unloved and unwanted, and that in order to avoid that, I had to show people that I was willing to, whatever they wanted to do, I was willing to make that happen. And that is kind of very much how I am. I do like to make experiences for people to like, I don't know, to make things just so. I like entertaining people, you know. I like engaging people and fascinating them. And so I really liked being able to like do that in a sexual arena, but I wanted to just have more control over it. Just be more like, this is for me. I'm the star of this show, actually. You know, the most important audience is me. I got to figure out what I like about this thing. And yeah, so it was really interesting. So I did that. She also had me do like, she gave me this huge list of all these different values. And she was like, look at all this, reflect on this, see what values are like the 10 most important to you, that resonate the most with you, and then rank those in order of importance from like 1 most important to 10 like least important, but still the most important. And so I like went through this, and I think she might have said, or I said, that all of these values are going to be, I can't ask for something in another person that I don't have in myself. So let me construct this list of values as like a personal kind of compass. What do I really value? And what am I going to try to embody? So for me, the first one was like, I tried to do it like, what like has to be there as like the grounding point. So the first one was respect. By respect, I meant treating others with respect, like someone who is not homophobic, someone who is not misogynistic, someone who has compassion, someone who is like thoughtful. And those are things that I want to be. I want to be someone who doesn't just judge a book by its cover, or doesn't just solely trust my lens as like the end all be all of another person's behavior, even my own. So yeah. And so, yeah, I was like, that will really help. I'm sure I do have a lot of internalized misogyny and internalized homophobia and internalized, like just self-hatred, just like judgment. And I should have more, I want to have respect for myself. I want to treat myself with respect so that I can treat others with respect. And I think that is a good grounding one, because if someone is, I also wanted someone who was wise. I wanted someone who was humor. Humor was important to me, obviously. Very funny person, very wise person. But I was like, if someone is funny but they don't have respect, you're an asshole. If someone is like wise and they don't have respect, they're an asshole. So I was like, let me do a respectful person. Then I want a wise person. But if someone is respectful and wise but they're not funny, it's like kind of preachy and like just not my vibe. A little too for me. So I wanted someone who was humorous. That was the third one. Then I wanted someone, I think, who was honest. I like, someone who tries to tell me what's up, because I try to tell people what's up. Hey, Erin. Hey, Billy. Hey, guys. Ugh, just grateful to have like really good energy. Y'all are cool peeps. Not just because you join me every Sunday, but anyway, okay. Respect, wisdom, humor. Then I had honesty. And then it gets a little fuzzy, the order, but I had family, which I didn't really know what that meant then. Because like I don't really want, I didn't want like to like have children, like to create a big family. And I also, I didn't know what I meant, but I think I recognized that like my family is really amazing, and like we have a very close relationship, and it matters to me that like my family likes the person I'm with, that my family likes me, and that like, I like this person's family, and that this person likes to be around my family and me. So I think that's what I meant by that. Family. I had love. Didn't really know what I meant by that either, except that I knew when I was with my ex, I did not feel loved. I felt like this person resented me and didn't have my best interests at heart, and not only didn't care when I was hurt, kind of seemed like they enjoyed it a little bit. Like they were getting a little bit of pleasure out of like taking me down a notch. And I was like, oh, that's not sustainable for me. I'm going to need someone who's going to like love me, and like, I want to feel it. I want it to be a verb, and I want it to be loud, So, love. I think I also had adventurous. I wanted someone who was, um, you know, adventurous, who was down to do stuff, who was like, I am someone who like likes to explore and try things, and I've been around people who are like, calm down, or like, no, I just want to, and not like I'm someone who always has to go, go, go. I'm definitely not, but like, I do like to like try new foods or interesting experiences and stuff. And I like to be around people who are like, yeah, I'll try it. That's totally cool. And so, yeah, adventurousness. That was cool. I kind of can't remember the other three right now. They'll maybe come up to me um, later. And yeah. And I also like, you know, when I was writing out other things, I wanted someone, oh, success. That was another one. And they had like success, but they also had like wealth or rich or, you know, things like that. And I specifically chose success because like I didn't want someone who was focused so much on like money, you know, or like the trappings of success. Like I didn't want someone who was materialistic, because my ex was kind of very image based. He was into like fancy Jordans and stuff. I was just like, girl, not me. Um, anyway, but I did want someone who was like passionate about and like, you know, like could work towards a thing and, you know, was successful at it. Like accomplished the goals they set out and have a spirit of that. Anyway, I'll think of the other ones. Anyway, it was a really great list. It was really, you know, it made me love myself more, because I was like, wow, I'm a person who embodies these things and who values these things in myself and in other people. That's like really cool. And so, isn't it crazy? I started therapy, and maybe like a year and some change later, who do I come across on Tinder but Mr. Billy Bunton, looking all light skinned and muscular and smoldery. And it, like, his thing said, he was an artist slash, um, artist and animator. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. I, um, I find myself to be an interesting person, and I like interesting people. And so I liked that. Whenever someone on Tinder is like entrepreneur, I'm like, you know, like, I don't know. It's just like not that interesting to me. And if someone is too specific, like Fortune 500 company person, like, also not interested. I didn't really want to date a lawyer either. Just, um, I like to be the only lawyer in the relationship, I guess. And like, yeah. So anyway, yeah, Billy, I realized as I got to know him, embodied all of these fucking things. And I think because I was intentional about identifying those things in myself, it was easier for me to recognize it in someone else. And so that brings me to sex on the first date. Me and Billy's first date, like after, you know, I ignored him kind of like for like 6 months, but I liked that he kept being like, hello, hey, I'm still interested, you know, take your time, but like, you know, hi. So it was really cool. He was like respectfully staying on my radar, you know, knowing that like, you know, this is a hot girl. She probably has a lot of suitors and a lot of things going on for her. So let me, you know, just be like, hey, it's really endearing. And so um, eventually I was about to leave for a trip to Guatemala, which I'll tell you all about. And I told Billy, I was like, hey, sorry, I'm just not on this site much. And I'm leaving for a trip, blah, blah, blah. I had told people on my Tinder in my bio, I was like, message me something funny or interesting. And Billy messaged me something like a general, like, interesting fact. And then he texted me an interesting thing about him. It was like a, you know, a little bio, and in it I was like, oh my God, I love it. He mentioned he was poly, and I was like, great, good, because I'm just looking for friends with benefits, and I'm a slut, and it's gonna get real. So like, and so sex on the first date. You want I know there is Traditional wisdom, you're not supposed to have sex on the first date. If you do, it's it means this other person won't respect you. It means you don't respect yourself. It means, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to like wait 3 dates and then have sex. You're supposed to let this person get to know you before you have sex. Disagree. Oh, yeah, disagree. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think. Should this be the final thoughts? Yeah, okay, I'll put the final thoughts thing. You see what Billy made for me? What a sweet thing. What a sweet freaking thing. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep talking and then I'll go to final thoughts. Okay, so I was like, I was maybe not going to be able to meet up with him until after I got back from this trip, but he was like, he would message me. He was like, hey, I have a little time, could you, do you, like, what's your schedule like? Could we, link up? And we were able to, and it was amazing. I think it's really smart to have sex on the first date. I'm sorry, like, people like me platonically, I'm very interesting to be, even if you're not having sex with me. So, like, you'll like me on the first date and the third date. I don't think I want someone who would not respect me after they have sex with me. The idea that, like, oh, if you have sex with them on the first date, they won't respect you. Like, why would I want to be with someone who doesn't respect someone who they've had sex with? I think someone who has sex with me, if they're not like, oh, that has changed my life, I'm a different person. I'm a different person now. Like, and I want to know you more. I'm so intrigued. That's also how I want to feel about the person. I don't want to be like, wow, this person is nice. And then I have sex with them and it's not good. That's not going to be a sustainable relationship for me. If it's not good because I don't feel comfortable, all right, I'm not going to feel comfortable around you in a lot of situations. Like, if it's not good because I don't find you attractive or you don't find me attractive, okay, that's probably not sustainable. I think a lot of women, we accept someone who has the potential to be a good parent, a good partner, a good whatever, and a lot of times we like give them the benefit of the doubt that actually, like, they're just accept them who they are. They might not be that great. And I would rather find that out early on the first date than to wait several dates and keep being like, I didn't have any spark, or it didn't feel this, but maybe I just need to get to know them better. Like, I'm the type of person who, like, you meet me once and you kind of love me, and I like having things like that where I could instantly kind of recognize someone. And so yeah, I think have sex on the first date, because, like, when you do, I kind of have a joke that I'm working on about this, but, like, yeah, when you do, you can, if you're not into it, if it's not a good, sexual connection, you can just be like, great, thank you for the time, good to get to know you, but, continue on your journey. But if you do like it, you can be like, what is your name again? What did you say you do for work? Do you work? What do you do? You can really start to get to know this person in a full way. Like, you can be like, wow, awesome, you are sexy and freaky and we're sexually compatible, and though you're really interesting and you actually happen to have all these values. So it was really cool. The adventurousness in my list of values is kind of satisfied in that. The humor, the honesty, all of that is kind of like involved in having sex on the first date. So very pro have sex on the first date. That is my dating tip. It tells you a lot about the person, in the sense that, like, are you going to feel comfortable? Is this person comfortable in their skin? Will this person murder you? Will this person still respect you once they've had sex with you? Because you want someone who will. And, like, the idea that, like, well, you had sex too fast, that's why they didn't respect you, not a good reason. Respect is my number one thing. So I'm gonna need someone who's gonna be able to respect me when I'm wearing my free Otis sweatshirt that my brother-in-law gave me. And if I'm naked. Duh. Like, no frills, just, coming as I am. That's what I want. Okay, so final thoughts. Yeah, anyway, isn't this so sweet? I know, like, there's lots of ways to show affection, lots of grand gestures that we're told we're supposed to do, but I love, like, someone creating art with me, someone who allows me to be myself. Just so sweet. It's so awesome. And so, yeah, I really appreciate Billy, like, recognizing me and, like, kind of seeing in me someone who, like, likes to share and helping me have a platform to, like, do that. It's, like, really cool. Look at this. You see this crown you got me? He was like, he had another type of crown with, like, diamonds and stuff. It was very, like, British monarchy. And I was like, I want something a little more, subtle, kind of like Indiana Jones. What do you call it? The Holy Grail. The Nazis thought the Holy Grail was going to be this, like, fancy bejeweled cup, but it's just, it's understated. It's a humble kind of thing. And yeah, I love this one. And I was like, cock it to the side. I'm kind of a asymmetrical person, and that just is so nonchalant and cool. I love it. Anyway, final thoughts. This was an interesting sex episode, right? Like, yeah, from divorce to sex, it's to the idea of, like, having amazing sex in toxic relationships. That's not really something I experienced. And I knew for myself that a healthy relationship for me would involve amazing sex. It would involve intimacy in all the ways. Not just, sex. Like, I want to be able to talk about all my shit, all of my dreams, all of my fears and traumas, and just, like, weird things that come to my head. And I want someone who's going to be, just as, enthusiastic about that as they are about what I bring sexually. And I'm good at that shit. I'm a great communicator, be it in the boudoir, be it over the internet. And I think when you have an amazing, healthy relationship, the sex will be awesome, and you'll be able to combine the, like, great sex and, like, the security to, like, be vulnerable in all the ways. You can be in your slut era all the time. You can find another person who's still in their slut era, and you can, like, be safe sluts together. How fun, right? It's all made up. So, just kind of keep making it up. Yeah. This is really fun. I think, like, I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. Hey, Elisa, drama mama, another one of my great friends, like, talented, smart, sexy, very creative, very resourceful. I'm always really excited that people like that like me. I think I'm their people. Damn, that's pretty cool. I very much appreciate that. So, I think I kind of said everything, and I didn't even look at my notes. I was trying to challenge myself to just improv this one, not worry so much about what I'm gonna say, and I think I knocked it out of the park. So, yeah, thanks for joining me. I guess before we leave, put the screen against your forehead really quick. Just press the screen of your phone or whatever against your forehead. Love you. Thanks. This is so freaking fun. See you tomorrow for Birds of a Feather. Yes, absolutely. I'll see you tomorrow. Billy has a How Billy Sees It. It's gonna be so good. He's so awesome. Oh my god, I'm so lucky. Yeah, it's gonna be really good. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm his producer, like he's my producer. So we'll see, but it's gonna be a really good one. If you're not following Billy, you gots to. You'll probably find him on all my Instagrams and YouTubes and stuff. So yeah, and I'm gonna end the show as I do with the third track from Billy's EP. It's called Right Now. It's so good. He's just amazing in all the ways. He also just started rapping and songwriting, and I just love it. So anyway, everything's made up. Have a great week. This is gonna be a fun one, I think. I'll see you guys soon, okay? Give me a second. All right. That sound on. This bad boy. Okay.
It's Billy. Right now. Yo, what if I got attacked by the clones? What if the builder think they found a better stone? What if the beat don't match with the metronome? What if that means you walk your path alone? Call me a vagabond. If all these streets leading to Rome, then wherever I lay is my home. It's Brooklyn, boy strong. I manifest, I'm in the zone. Y'all silly better back up off my throne. Listen, boy nice, better give him his propers. How we come out sane from all our mosh pits. How we found the key to the game without a locksmith. How we seem to manage these lanes is so obnoxious. He let it flow from the brain, trusting the process. A vet journeyman on multiple rosters. If I want it, I go out and get it and cop it. A monster with limitless options. Man, like goddamn, y'all gon' soon figure out who I am. We stay cooking, y'all used to that spam. Western beef, I might square up at the square dance. Look, I change plans, not even a southpaw, I'm an outlaw with a rare stance. Your crew never had a fair chance. Why's that? I kill a whole bear with my bare hands. Oh, they studied the dark? Well, I was raised in it. Brain shifted, the kid displayed insane physics. Best story never told, and it ain't finished. How we handled the rock, spun and kept the same pivot. I frame different, hot like a flame kitchen. A whole 2 levels out of your range gifted. Catch me on the highway, lane switching. Or right at the top of your bay wish list. It's Billy.